Hi guys, so today I'm going to try out the Griffin Finishing School that just came in from Autoship from HSN that I have set up there with them. It's called Heirloom Lace, and of course since it's Autoship, sometimes HSN will release the Griffin Autoships pretty quickly, especially with the Finishing School boxes. I don't know if you guys have noticed that in the past, but as it is right now, today, whatever day this is, very early December, it's not available yet, but it might be soon, so I'll have it linked in the description box, and those will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. I also will link, like, what HSN has been doing, or Griffin has been bringing, is, like, just the card bases, or, like, the embellishments that go along with some of the other finishing schools, which is really great, because if you already have the finishing school, you have this, you know, the dies and the embossing folder, and maybe you want some refills of the other gorgeous items that come in here. So I'll try to link those as best I can in the description box, because it seems like every day they're bringing more and more of them. So, and I think I hauled some recently where it was the, I think maybe the initial finishing school items. I can't remember, but it was really pretty. So it was just like the stickers and card bases. But anyhow, so I kind of went through it already, but I'll pop in here and I'll link in the description box the unboxing video if I, you know, don't go through it too much here, because I've already done that. But it comes, you know, with the gorgeous cards. I don't remember how many, probably 24. I don't know. And bear with me, please. I'm kind of dealing or trying to sort out my lighting situation since the time change, and you know, it's winter. It looks totally different in here, so I've been trying to work with this, but this is where we are right now. Alright, so we have all these pretty card bases. Again, just a gorgeous palette of colors. Very typical Anna Griffin, you know, the lavenders, the peachy pink, kind of the sagey green. This one's really pretty. Has a lot of different things going on instead of just more monotone. There you go, like that one. And then we have these pretty papers, again, that we can cut up or layer into or use for your die cuts, you know. These are double-sided. On the back, they're just plain colors. Solid colors, I guess is what I should say. The gold paper that always looks awesome with the die cuts, you know, and matching envelopes, little creamy colored envelopes. And then we have the a 3D embossing folder called Heirloom Lace, and then all the dies that we just talked about, which these are all the same. It just makes it easy to cut if you want to do the corner pieces. I generally skip out of doing the corner pieces because I don't want to cover like this prettiness. Like, it's tough enough for me to just cover this middle part and then to cover all the corners, but it might be good for, you know, I mean, they're all so pretty, like I wouldn't cover them. But if you had something more plain, or maybe a plain card base that you're starting from, or whatever, obviously some people, it might not be my thing, but maybe it's yours. But I just don't like covering stuff up too much. And then all these gorgeous flowers, which I showed last time. These are very typical of like the kind of things that you get in the Anna Griffin sets, but this one is a very different style. I thought they're really pretty, kind of like cloisonné. I don't know, something about the style is really pretty. Look at that, super cool, double, you know, pieces basically. Like this one has a little leaf sticking out the back, so a little bit decoupage. Some of them are just doubled up. Look how cute this one is. Oh my gosh. They definitely, if they have refills of this, I'm getting them. Because, you know me, I'll order a whole other set, but then I don't need all these dies and everything else again. Okay, so there's that. And then we have toppers. Get well soon. Happy birthday to you. There's just lots of different things in here. The squares and the circles, which is really cool. Thank you so very much. You know, you are so very kind. I mean, that's really great. Lots of different sizes. Some are larger, some are smaller. Sending hugs. Well done. For my friend. I mean, those are really great sentiments. Hopefully they'll have these separate later. Oh, and then topper pieces. So that's like the topper as far as like the sentiment, but then we have these guys. Little butterflies. Some are foil, some are not. Some are more of that style of the newer kind of flowers she put in there, and some are, you know, actually, all of them, again, I was just to say they're very lacy. Yeah, duh. It's called Heirloom Lace. So like the look of whatever's going on here has like a lace look to it. Very pretty. So again, some are foiled. Did this not have a inspo sheet? It must have had an inspo sheet. Oh, did I? Okay. Oh, it's down under here, and it has a code for finishing school, which I have never ever logged into, but I'll just put my finger on there, I suppose, in case one day I want to try it. But you see here, they have the corners, and you know, it's really pretty, but I just really don't like covering up everything. So, I mean, it looks awesome. Different layers there. How pretty, and just like, oh, so soft and just gorgeous. So very interesting here. You can see this and you think, oh, that's really pretty, the scallops. So that is the embossing folder, but then someone fussy cut around those scallops. So, you know, if you are so inclined. It looks really nice, but I probably would never do that. Then we have that circle in the center. Here they use kind of like this part, a little medallion part, I guess. Very interesting. It looks like what they did, because I don't know if you can see like the gold layer and it's kind of puffy. So what I'm assuming they did is they took this outer die, they ran it through the pink paper, they also ran it through the gold paper, but when they ran it through the gold paper, they also used this center one, this inside one. So all it left is this little skinny frame. You see how this does? And then they put that little skinny frame on here to make it look like texture, which is really nice because then you still have that gold piece in the center, you know, that got cut out of here. You can use that, and then you can still use that little itty bit to make something pretty. Okay, so let me think about what I want to do. I'm going to grab a card base, lots of inspo. I love it. Oh, so pretty. I mean, those little corners are just like, this is really nice. Very interesting what they did here. I'm trying to see what all is going on. It looks like they did some cutaway, right? And then have the other things showing through the back. Ooh. Then we have all this stuff. All right, well, let me think about what I want to do. I'll grab some pieces and we'll get started. Okay, you know me. Just making choices already is already difficult for me. So I was looking at this, but you're going to cover up so much of this. It's already designed and so pretty. And what's interesting is if you look at this, it looks like this piece is back here. So basically what they did is they used that outer die and they cut this out and then they put that on top of another card. So very interesting. or I was saying maybe they cut it here and then popped it up, but then how would you cover that back piece with that gaping hole, right? So as you can see, it's two. So I guess maybe both layers, both cards, they cut one and then layered it on top of the other guy. There isn't a paper in here that's that pattern. You know, you think, oh, maybe they got it from this, you know, cut it out, but no, because if you can see, it's the exact what's going on here. Anyway, so I think I'm going to do this one. That way, if I cover it up, I don't mind too much, because obviously you can still see that beautiful lace in the back, and if the centerpiece gets covered up, I don't care. But this is just so pretty. I would think of a different way to use that, even though it's plain. So we're going to use that one, and a little unexpected, because I usually don't, I go with pinks and purples, and sometimes the sage colors, right? So we have that guy. We need some other cuts. And just looking at these, I mean, there's so much inspo, just a lot of different tricks that they did. Again, here, it's fussy cutting. Well, this one, actually, they probably cut it with this little guy because the aperture is so small. But like on some of them, the aperture is much larger, so that means they had to cut it by hand, you know? Or they use this and they cut around in here. I'm not going to use the embossing folder today because I don't want to cover up everything. I mean, that's what this is going to do, right? If we use it, it's just going to cover the whole base, unless you mess with it in other ways. But there's no embossing in the center. You know, some of them have embossing everywhere, so you can use it a different way. This definitely makes you a frame. So I mean, you can still put some little bits and pieces in there to get some embossing on it. So I think we're just going to probably do something more like this, right? Where you see the background, we have this circle, and then we'll go from there. So this is always my question, like, do I put the gold in the back? Do I put the gold on the top? Do I not use gold yet? You know, do you use a pattern paper, which is always nice? So let me think about that. I know I'm not going to use this. We are going to use this at some point soon here. Oh, what's this? What came out of the package? And I'll be right back. I'll just think about what other pattern paper I might want to cut and how I want to cut into it. Oh my gosh, you guys, as I'm choosing this, you know, I would love to use this side, but I feel like I need to almost use this side of it. But then you're not using this beautiful piece, but you know, that's just how it is. Again, you can pull something from your stash. That way it matches, or something that might match, or you might have some plain colored papers of hers. So you can use this for something else, right? But I'm trying to stick to what's in here. And having said that, I'm going to use a silver piece of pearlescent paper that I have that I just had it here in my stash. And I thought, because to me, I'm like, oh, I can put the gold in the back. And I thought, oh, what if I can use like silver? So I just looked in this little pile of papers I have next to me. I'm going to use this one. So, you know, I am breaking my own rule a little bit, but that's all right. But you know, who knows, because by the time we get to the top, maybe it looks better with gold things, because her accents are always like gold, but I'm just gonna do what I feel like. So I'm gonna take this guy and cut this out, and then this guy on the blue side. Oh, hurts my heart. Well, yeah, I don't know, that's kind of plain. Maybe I will use the pattern side. What do we think? Because that middle part will stay there. Even though it's kind of weird because of the little white pieces. But you know what? I'll still cut it from the pattern side, like this. I'll run this through. It looks like there's embossing like in this area. But since this has a pattern, it's going to be kind of hard to see. So it depends on what it looks like when I'm done. Maybe I'll run it through with the rubber embossing mat. I am going to use a tangerine because I can't be bothered with turning on these machines over here, so I'm just gonna run these through real quick, and I'll be right back. Hopefully it just fell right out. It's held on, but it just completely fell out. And look at all that. Got that tangerine. And this guy taped down, so let me... And I'm assuming it's symmetrical. I don't see why it would be different in any other spot, but here we go. Ooh, that's a lot of darkness. Let's see. It's a lot of blue. We're going to have to step it up, liven it up with some of the other pieces. Let me clean up because I have lots of little bits that just fell out, and I'll be right back. All right, move on. Let me just glue these together. That way I can have a good look at it. Again, you can put dimensionals, but this whole edge won't really have them. And that is pretty on the other side. Maybe even better, look at that. But I cut into it this way, so it's going to be a rough cut looking back here, so I got to stick with my initial plan here. Alright. So I'm just put glue wherever I can all around. You know, I think this one calls for some of this. So I just pat into here. Add more glue as necessary. And I'll lay it over the top of this guy. You know, lined up, and I'll be right back. So we have these pieces here. Of course, we have all these other dies to play with. You know, like in this one, it looks like they use both of this circle, just this inside part. This little guy cut out, and then they put one on top of the other to make it look more oval kind of shape, you know. So lots to do. This was the one that I'm like, I'm not sure exactly what they did here. Because if you see, it looks like the outside, it looks like maybe the inside of this, but not really. It might just be a whole other die from somewhere else, or this shape, and they used two again. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting shape. I was thinking maybe they got it from the embossing folder, but no, not that either. Okay. Let's see. I think I want to use just these new guys. We do need to bring in some kind of light color or something else. We have these other pieces that might be fun to play with. Again, like I said, it's gold foil on these guys, but I don't think it looks bad, because that looks kind of like silvery blue anyway, that paper in the back. But do I want to keep it blue, 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 all the time blue? Okay, so I'm going to play with this a little bit. That looks pretty. And see what it is I want to do. I mean, there's all kinds of pieces in here. They can just tuck here and there. Again, blue, blue, blue. Do I want to bring in some green? I don't know. Maybe. So I'm going to play with all these pieces. Yeah, maybe. And see what I'm thinking. I don't know if I want to use these newer flowers. I really do. They're so pretty. First of all, pretty, but look at that. Okay. Yeah, I'll go through these and see exactly what it is that I want to end up using. And then our topper piece, you know, we have that square. We have blue for my friend. If I want to use some of that green, maybe I'll do sending hugs. We have this with love. It's a little plain too. It's going for this guy. Thinking of you. So much. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, guys. I think this is what I'm going to do. And let's get close. And I mean, there's still so much more. I know this is just like scratching the surface of what like maybe Anna would do, or her designer team. I don't know. But that's really pretty with the blue, and then bringing in a little bit of that green. I really liked, honestly, the way that green looked. The sentiment with this behind it, but you know me, I'm not going to tear this off and then just waste it for this little blue circle. But look at that. So pretty, that extra pop. But we also have the dies, and we also have dies from the other ones, right? The whole collection. I mean, they're all circular, so you can mix and match. Like, if I wanted to, maybe use that blue or a darker blue and pop these guys behind this, you know, to make a little more pop of color. You can definitely do that, right? Looks very pretty, but I think I'm going to go with this, and now I have to think about how I'm going to layer it. Now, they did not include in this set little pieces for whatever reason. I think one of the sets recently I picked up, it had decoupage, right? The little stickies. I guess you would call them dimensional adhesives. I'm like, they're little stickies. Hold on. But I have tons of them, and then I have this set, and people ask every time I pull this out, and every time I pull it out, I say they don't have it on HSN anymore, but people still ask me, do they have that on HSN? No, not right now. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it was just a set of a ton of little stickies. So these are small, and then like a more of a medium size, you know, in relation to this, and then a larger size. So pretty cool. But what I'm going to do is move this off. just the way it is. And have you seen people, some people build from top down, so like right now I know this is what I want to do. I can start sticking things down, like I can stick this to there. And I am going to stick this directly, so if this is a sticker, let's go ahead and do that. But if you move from top down, then you're not really moving a lot of your stuff. And you have a pretty good idea. Oh, I just realized that it's kind of messed up, the sticker. Oh, bummer. So normally I would cover that up, but... And it's a little bit off. Hold on. Ah! So funny, right? Because you can still use sending hugs right there. But all they do is pop another little piece over the top. Okay. And let's say that's in here. Again, it's a circle, so we can mess with it till it's straight. That looks pretty good. I do want these guys on there. I think I'm going to keep this flat to that, like this and this flat together. But this is not a sticker, I don't think. I know you guys always tell me, like, if it's white on the back, oh, it is. It's a sticker, but if it's not, it's not, you know? If it looks like cardstock. To me, they always look like cardstock, so I don't really differentiate very well. Now, I could give it some dimension between one and the other, but I'm not going to. And the only thing that's sticking is these little pieces. So again, I have to hold my breath. Take a little embossing buddy, which also I have not seen in forever. This is from Ink and Dink Do, and it's probably 10 years old. But some companies have them anyway. I'm going to put some dimensionals on that one. Probably a good size, because it's a good sized piece. I know sometimes like Diamond Press will ask like what kinds of things I'm interested in them making. I'm like this, you know, storage would be a good idea. Obviously I have no idea what they were going to do with that, but they did an awesome job. I'm like, how about dimensional adhesives? Like something good, some really good glue. So we'll see what, hopefully they come up with something like that. So I am going top down for a moment. And then we'll put this guy back in here. And I'm just looking at the circle itself. Now, so is the other thing. You know, it's a doily, so it kind of has points, it kind of rounds out. Like, do you want those points centered like this or just more off? It doesn't, you know, it's a circle. So whatever it is that you feel comfortable with. I do feel, what's interesting about this doily is that it has two centers, you know, and then 1, 2 on left and right, and then again, 2 centers left and right. It's not just a one pointing, so it's kind of has to be like this if you're trying to do it up and down. It's that center part of that. Anyway, I'm just eyeballing that so I can know where to put this guy. Just about there. It's a little bit high, but that's okay. Oh! Did you guys catch that? I put it on upside down. And it's a circle, so it doesn't matter. Very good. Alright. There we go. And then these guys are going to sneak behind there, so I pretty much know where these are going to be. Oh, you know, these are probably stickers, huh? You know me. Just going to put some glue. Kind of want more of the flower sticking out, so I'm going to put it that way. I'm saying I can make it pretty much symmetrical to the other side too. So it looks a lot the same. This is popping up. Very good. Oh, it should be more like here. It looks good. Okay. I can bring it up just a little bit more. And big dimensionals on the back of this guy too, so I'm just going to pop those on, several, and I'll be right back. Those guys are down. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is really pretty. Very unexpected. I don't really work with blue a lot. I've been doing that. And now my friend here, Diana, will appreciate that. She likes blue. I'm just trying to see where I'm at. That's pretty good. Before I really push it down. Looks good to me. And then these guys, you know, she usually has opposites. I just took the ones, they're basically the same, right? I mean, it's not like the one where it's opposite, so that it's the same thing with the same little flower on top and the larger one at the bottom. I like the look of kind of offsetting them, right? Now I have this here. I don't know if I want them here and here or, you know, down here. I feel like here and here is cute. So since there's a step here, I am just going to take a piece of dimensional adhesive, and I can get with the smaller ones, but might as well just do this. Being very careful not to cut myself. We have that guy, and I can put it here, I think, and it'll be good. Too much? Oh, let's do it this way. That way it's out of the way. right? Like that. Okay. And I can rip this sticker part off, but I'll just put some glue. Oh, so cute. So I'm going to do the exact same thing with this one. Just put my little piece of dimensional adhesive down here out of the way. Glue there. And I am happy with this pretty card. Kind of seeing where that one's at. And you know, not too much, you know me. I don't go over the top, but I think it's enough. And I know people don't like everything being covered up, so I think this is enough where it's a little something. And maybe you want to put these in the opposite direction so that you have these guys, but I like that look. And that's just me, but you know, if you want to put these on the opposite direction, so you have this guy or these guys down here and those guys where they are. I don't know. But this is really pretty, really easy to work with, honestly. Only because I didn't want to do fussy cutting or other things. It just really made it simple. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully they come out with this guy soon. Like I said, I'll put the links in the description box because HSN is bringing out just a ton of the refills, which are gorgeous. I mean, these things, obviously the dies are gorgeous, but the papers and the cards, so pretty. So, thanks for watching, guys. I will have some images for you coming up, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.